On Sunrise and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, an investigation continues into the death of a couple found shot to death inside of a Shiner home Tuesday. We're learning their identities this morning. And the U.S. Department of Labor released its Consumer Price Index report for the month of June. Hear how much the CPI rose and its effect on inflation. Plus, NASA celebrating a milestone. Its James Webb Space Telescope has marked 1 year since it started space observations. Stay tuned to see how NASA marks the anniversary.
Okay, on the outside, the sun's up, and looking at a live view from Cuero, courtesy of the WeatherBug site there. A few degrees cooler today. Yes, that's true. A few degrees makes a difference. We'll give you the details coming up in your forecast.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain.
I'm Trey Manning.
And today it's the 13th day of July 2023.
It is. Time is going by so fast.
And on this day in 1942, Harrison Ford, also known as Indiana Jones, and oh no, Star Wars. Han Solo.
Han Solo.
Han Solo as well. So Harrison Ford was born on this day. All right, and we have him in birthdays too.
Exactly, yes. So he's well represented. What a great guy.
What a great actor, yeah.
Very much so, very much so.
The aging technology in the new Indiana Jones is really,
I'll
really
be
impressive.
happy to check it out.
You got to see it, Trey.
And good idea to go see a movie.
Yes,
Why is that?
Out of the heat. We joined the movie club because it's just too hot this summer.
Exactly. Good thinking. Very good. We may do that ourselves. All right, on the outside, we're looking at a live view from Cuero, by the way, with temperatures currently 81 degrees, actually down 1 degree, believe it or not, since the last half hour in Victoria, but don't let that fool you. Temperatures will be rising rapidly and pretty much have started beginning with that because the sun's now up with the humidity level still quite high. And the feel-like temperature already about 90 degrees or so, 89 to 90 degrees in Victoria, with the pressure about where it should be normally. We have southerly winds keeping that moisture flow in, with temperatures in the 80s, mid-80s along the immediate coast at Port O'Connor, for example, and Seadrift is good examples there. 81 or so from US 59 corridor, all the way from Morton Ocampo to Beeville area, and points to the north are 80, 81 degrees. But as we go throughout the day, first of all, let's take a look at the advisories. For Victoria County, counties along 59, we have the heat advisory in effect, because it's a few degrees cooler than it was yesterday because everybody was under the heat warning earlier in the day yesterday. Not the case today because of the little bit of a relief in the atmosphere. Some drier areas worked on through, and a little bit of more moisture is coming on through has allowed that pressure cooker to kind of release a little bit. But don't get too excited about that because the more dry air is coming down to even dry out the mid-level levels of the atmosphere even more, causing our temperatures to be hotter again for your day tomorrow and pretty much after that. So we're still remaining in the same pattern. But keep in mind the heat advisories, heat warnings from Cuero northward, so please be safe out there. Don't do anything in the afternoon. That way, if you can, wait till the evening time to do it about that time so you can get a little bit better of a temperature scheme around here. Full forecast coming up a little later on, of course. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Trey. New details. Authorities have released the names of the two people killed in a shooting at a Shiner home Tuesday. The victims are found dead inside of a home just after 1 p.m. in the 900 block of St. Ludmia Street. The victims in the shooting are identified as 45-year-old Maria Haley and her husband, 52-year-old Earl Haley. Police say a juvenile was in the house when the shooting happened. Police are still investigating. A Jackson County jail employee is in custody after an investigation into an incident at the county jail. The employee is charged with violation of the civil rights and improper sexual activity with an inmate. The charges are a second-degree felony. The bond is set at $75,000. Authorities have not released the identity of the suspect. A car on fire yesterday in the 3400 block of East Red River Road. This was around 10 o'clock in the morning. Authorities say they were concerned about the fire spreading because the vehicle was near two other vehicles in an RV. No word on how the fire may have started. The Consumer Price Index rose 0.2% in the month of June. That's from Wednesday's labor market report. That puts annual inflation at 3%, and it's the lowest it's been since March 2021. The core CPI, excluding food and energy prices, also increased, going up by 0.2% last month and 4.8% from a year earlier. The numbers could give the Federal Reserve some breathing room while inflation continues to run hotter than its target of 2%, but the central bank is still expected to lift interest rates again at the end of the month. We'll go to Washington for the latest on the economy later on Sunrise. There are new concerns about the extreme heat bearing down on much of the country. Heat alerts are posted from Washington state to New Mexico and from Texas to Florida. In the north, a different set of concerns: more rain for the northeast and tornadoes hitting the Chicago area.
At least 5 confirmed tornadoes hit the Chicago area last night, damaging several homes. The city's airport's facing ground stops. Video shows hundreds of people taking shelter in this concourse at O'Hare Airport, and this video from a traveler inside Midway Airport.
Oh my God.
Showing a twister taking shape just past the runways. Those storms shifting east overnight. People across Vermont have been racing to clean up from this week's disastrous floods before more rain arrives today. Thousands of people have lost homes and businesses. The recovery could take years, if not decades. And storms are in the forecast for the next 7 days, with 4 more inches of rain possible.
This may not be over. With rain in the forecast and nowhere for it to go, we could see waters rise again.
Meanwhile, forecasters are warning of dire consequences from the extreme heat across the south and the west. Triple-digit temperatures will stretch from Florida to California today. Phoenix will mark its 14th consecutive day of 110 degrees or above. Heat-related illnesses nationwide have more than doubled in the last month. Places, including Miami-Dade County, Los Angeles, and Phoenix, have recently appointed chief heat officers, a city official who does everything from establish cooling centers, install more AC in public housing, and plant more trees to cool the streets. Now the mayor of Phoenix is calling on the Biden administration to appoint a federal heat officer. One possible tool to fight climate change: paint. Scientists at Purdue have created a white paint that's so white they say it can reduce the surface temperature on a roof by up to 19 degrees by reflecting 98% of the sun's rays. It could be available by next year.
Las Vegas could set an all-time heat record this weekend, and Death Valley could hit 130 degrees. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
It's been 1 year since the James Webb Space Telescope began capturing stunning images of the universe. To mark the first anniversary, NASA released a new picture showing the birth of a star like it's never been seen before. This is the Rho-Ophiuchi Cloud Complex. At 390 light years away, it is the closest star-forming region to Earth, and it contains 50 young stars smaller in the mass to the sun in a cocoon of gas and dust. The first image from the Space Webb telescope was released on July 11th, 2022, when the president revealed a deep field picture of thousands of galaxies in a galactic cluster. And here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Queer Record. Dwight County 4-Hers excel at a state competition, and Victory Family Church welcomes new pastors. Also, local Crow youngsters star in the July 4th parade. You can read these stories and more at DeWittCountyToday.com. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is now 6:39 on your Thursday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. The public was able to take part in an active shooter response training.
White House touting 12 straight months of cooling inflation and U.S. unemployment down to 3.6%. I'm ABC's Justin Finch. How those numbers could affect your interest rates coming up.
And take a look at the future tracker. Some morning cloud cover, otherwise sunny skies today. Heating up our atmosphere, causing triple-digit heat index values to occur again today around the region. Be careful out there. What does the rest of your week and your forecast hold in store for the weekend? We'll take a look coming up.
Fentanyl crisis, unmasking the deadly wave. Join 25 News Now weekend anchor Adam Seibel for a 25 News Now Extra Thursday, July 13th at 10 p.m. We focus on the alarming rise of the deadly drug fentanyl.
What you know about fentanyl is probably maybe 10% of the reality.
Fentanyl is easy to make and cheap to get, and it has flooded communities across the United States, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. Don't miss this eye-opening extra that could save lives.
Good morning. Trey Mining here, and take a look at the water vapor imagery. Something of note here that I think is interesting to show. You see the very dry air, the orange color, kind of rust color moving out, and we're under still dry air in the middle upper levels of the atmosphere. We don't have the rust color over our region here. Why is that? Because there's a little bit of some moisture came on through the upper levels of the atmosphere, able to kind of relieve that cap in the atmosphere a little bit more, just a tiny bit, allowing our temperatures to be a few degrees cooler today and then tomorrow more than likely. But you see more dry air coming in from the north and the northerly flow around the Texas coast, so temperatures still going to be rather hot throughout the days, next several days, and above normal in all occasions more than likely, and throughout the entire state that is. 3 degrees above normal currently in Victoria, and that trend is going to continue 5 degrees above normal or so, 2 or 3 to 5 degrees above normal. We're not seeing any below normal temperatures anytime soon. That tells us that the high pressure region is still going to remain in place, giving us hot temperatures, of course, and sunny skies. Your full forecast comes around a little bit later on this half hour before we go. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. Turning now to your money and the economy. New June 2023 Labor Department data shows inflation continuing to cool to its lowest level in more than 2 years and steady job growth. The White House touting these numbers as proof that Bidenomics is working to lower costs for U.S. households and create more jobs.
This morning, new economic data finding American households are able to stretch their dollar further today than 1 year ago. The U.S. Consumer Price Index, which measures how much households spend on average for goods and services and is used as a gauge for inflation, finding welcome news that for 12 straight months, inflation appears to be easing. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics finding June's consumer prices were 3% higher than a year ago, marking the lowest increase in more than 2 years, tumbling from last summer's peak when prices were 9% higher year over year. Staples like meat, fish, and dairy down slightly in June from May. Airfares dipping 8%. Used car prices down, with new car prices flat. The stock market reacting.
We were anticipating something that was going to show a good bit of progress, and what we got this morning was even better.
The inflation cool down follows the June jobs report showing U.S. unemployment at 3.6%, the economy adding 209,000 jobs. The White House attributing that growth to Bidenomics, its effort to expand the economy through job creation, lowering costs, and U.S. investment. The Fed now weeks away from its July interest rate meeting. Many expect rate hikes will pick up again, as this investment portfolio manager explains on Bloomberg TV.
Because this is not going to get the Fed to start cutting rates. All this does is get the Fed to probably pause for an extended period, keep rates elevated. We need to see weakness in the labor market before they start cutting rates.
While the U.S. economy is showing momentum, the U.S. Treasury Secretary cautions a recession is not fully off the table, as Republicans argue inflation remains too high and wages too low. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
That leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen. We ask you, should the Federal Reserve fight inflation with an additional rate hike? Okay, let's take a look. 39% of you say yes, and 61% of you say no. Thank you for taking part in our viewer poll. The public was able to take part in an active shooter response training yesterday. The training was hosted by the Port Lavaca Police Department. The purpose was to equip the public with the knowledge of what to do in an active shooter situation, whether it be at work, school, or in a public setting. This was the 5th training that the police department has hosted, with last night's training taking place at the Bauer Community Center. The presentation lasted a little over an hour, but was filled with valuable knowledge that could save lives.
Of course, with Uvalde fresh on everybody's minds, what we wanted to do is in Port Lavaca start having district meetings and have a consistent message when it comes to active attacks.
If you couldn't make it to last night's training, you can contact the Port Lavaca Police Department and set up a training for your group, whether that be your work, school group, or just to inform and educate you and your loved ones. There is one more training scheduled for this September. You can come to crossroadstoday.com for more information to learn about surviving an active shooter event. The time is now 6:46 on your Thursday morning. Still to come, a fundraiser to raise money for a Christian music festival is kicking off on July 29th. Stay tuned to see how you can help. All right, time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy 7th birthday to Clarissa. We love you. Have a great day.
And renowned actor Harrison Ford is celebrating a birthday today. He's 81.
Can't believe it. To see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, come to crossroadstoday.com, click on More, and under home you'll see KVU. Submit your birthday.
Current time is 6:46 in the a.m. Back with more with weather and more news coming up after the break. Good morning, good morning. It's just about 10 minutes away from the 7 a.m. hour, and looking at the feel-like temperature throughout the day, starting off in the 90s along the coast where we are right now, and feel like temperature near 90 degrees currently in Victoria. Same thing to the north, but we get the daytime heating really into place. Coming up by 11 a.m. will be 95 to 100 degree heat index value across the region, which was a few degrees cooler today than it was yesterday, believe it or not, but still very hot and very dangerous out there. By the time we get 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 107 to 108 heat index value throughout the entire Crossroads region. And even hotter than that, 110, 111 to 109 or so in the areas of Carson City, Kennedy area, and Nixon, and points to the west from there, west of Cuero, Goliad. So keep that in mind and make sure you stay safe if you have to be outside during the day today, especially in the afternoon. A few high clouds this morning, otherwise we're seeing sunny skies, and still the heat goes on around here. We'll call it about 96 degrees today for the air temperature, heat index value above 100 degrees as you saw. Mostly sunny skies and hot, of course. Overnight lows will be 78 degrees, mostly clear skies. Tomorrow about the same, highs in the mid to upper 90s, triple digit heat index value. Let's just make that stretch it through the weekend. In the first next week, no rain with highs in the 90s each day, lows just shy of 80.
Okay. I'm now joined by Rick Villa here to talk to us about a fundraiser supporting an upcoming Christian music festival. Welcome, Rick.
Thank you, Carolina. We're glad to be here.
Well, it's great to see you. I have known you for so many years for all your community work here in the Crossroads, from the school district to working for our county resources, and also now you're uniting hearts with this Christian music festival, bringing some fun.
We agree. So full circle. We've been having so many partner churches, join us on our committee to do the Uniting Hearts Music Festival. This is our 4th annual event.
4th annual event. And in order to put it on, in order for it to be a true success, you've got to do a fundraiser, right?
Most definitely. Julio Reyes, he's the chairperson for our fundraisers. We do bake sales, we do garage sales. Now we're going to do the largest 1,000-plate barbecue plate sale, and that's going to be on July 29th, 11 to 2:30.
So what can we expect, and are you asking people, are you still looking for people to sign up for anything?
We are. We're actually still have plates for sale. We've got 650 tickets sold already. They can contact me at 361-212-2466. I can help them out with tickets for supporting this fundraiser. It's going to be at the Centro de Alabanza Church, 1702 East Juan Lynn.
And what are these funds going toward? Is it just the music festival, or are there other components to it?
There are. What we do is we partner with churches. What we want for them to do is have concession stands at the festival. 100% of the proceeds that they make at the festival are for each of their church ministries. We also do raffle tickets. We do T-shirts. And the partner churches that are on our committee, they receive an offering, a 10% offering. And then what we do with the net proceeds of the festival, we provide that to a nonprofit. This year we have chosen the Salvation Army.
What an excellent nonprofit. They've done so much in our community, and they're expanding too.
Most certainly. Captain Jones, he's on our committee, and the Life Enrichment Center that he's planning, for the community, that should be opening up in October of this year. So it all falls in place. God is just so amazing how he connects all of us together.
So remind us, from what time to what time can we pick up a barbecue plate?
Barbecue plates will be available 11 o'clock to 2:30, and that's going to be Saturday, July 29th at Centro de Alabanza Church, 1702 East Juan Lynn Street.
All right, I'm going to put it on my calendar. Don't make food that day. You can pick up a barbecue plate.
Most definitely. They're going to be Texas-sized plates. We can guarantee you $12 a plate.
All for a good cause. Thank you so much, Rick.
Thank you, Catalina. Thank you so much.
All right, well, don't go anywhere. Coming up, news to know before you go. A teenager in Omaha, Nebraska was taken into custody Wednesday after authorities received calls about someone firing a gun in the parking lot of a local mall. Omaha police officers rushed to the Westroads Mall at about 7 p.m. after 911 operators received several calls related to someone with a firearm in the mall's parking lot. Omaha police say there was never a threat inside the mall, and the suspect also called 911. Dispatchers determined that the suspect was suicidal. After some negotiating, the teenager put the gun down and he was taken to a hospital to get any help that may be needed. However, Omaha police say he's still in police custody. The teen is facing firearms-related charges and the incident is under investigation. The National Weather Service issues excessive heat warnings for 2 area counties. DeWitt and Lavaca counties under excessive heat warnings until 9 o'clock tonight. The National Weather Service says heat index values up to 114 degrees are expected. Lavaca County now under a 90-day burn ban. Lavaca County Commissioners approved the ban Tuesday morning. All outdoor burning is banned in the unincorporated area of the county. This burn ban recommended by the Lavaca County Fire Chiefs Association. Pack the Bus registration is underway for children in need of school supplies. You can register to receive supplies online on the Faith Family Church website, myfcc.com/packthebus. Supplies will be given out Saturday, August 5th at the Faith Family location on Mockingbird. For questions about registration, stop by Faith Family Church Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to noon or call 361-573-2484. And here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Port Lavaca Wave. The Calhoun County Commissioner's Office approved a new firehouse for the Magnolia Beach Volunteer Fire Department. Great news. And the Texas AgriLife Extension Office is offering locals a chance to walk across Texas in the water at Port Lavaca's public pool. And the Calhoun County DSHS has a new program designed to help spread awareness about the dangers of high heat. You can read these stories and more at theportlavacawave.com. Follow us on Twitter at Crossroads Today. Read the Texas Tribune article about Austin suspending its partnership with DPS after a trooper pulled a gun on a 10-year-old. All right, we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and on your cell phone. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. Let's take one last look at your viewer poll today. We asked, do you think that the Fed should raise the interest rates one more time in order to combat inflation? Let's take a look. 46% of you say yes, and 54% of you say no. Thank you for taking part in our viewer poll. Let's go ahead and get a last look at our forecast with Trey.
And thank you so much, Carolina. We're seeing the temperatures pretty much in the 80s and feel like temperature in the 90s currently on the outside. Well above the triple-digit mark by noontime hour, 107 to 108 by the afternoon hours. That's definitely in the dangerous category. Please drink plenty of water. You have to be outside for any length of time during the afternoon especially. Wait till the evening hours or morning hours to do that work outside if you need to be done. Would be the best thing to do. A few high clouds this morning, otherwise sunny skies today, heating your atmosphere up. Causing temperatures to be in the upper 90s to near 100 degrees. Air temperature at least. Sunny skies. Overnight lows will take it to about 78 degrees in the overnight on the low side. Mostly clear skies and humid. And then for your day tomorrow, it's Friday. How about that? Almost a weekend. 96 degrees on the outside. Triple-digit heat index value, more than likely a heat advisory going into effect for tomorrow afternoon that we have been seeing. Mostly sunny skies and hot. Extended forecast for us. No rain as of yet. I wish we could get some rain, but so far it's not happening. Sunny skies though, that's nice and plenty seeing that right on through the next 7 days. Highs in the upper 90s to near 100 degrees, very hot each day. Lows in the 70s. Carolina?
Dangerously hot out there, Trey. Be sure to check on your neighbors, especially if they're elderly, and see if they need just a bottle of water, anything to help. And thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, and join James, Don, Matt, Karina, and Gina today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10.